Hi guys, in this video we will study adding fractions. We will take adding fractions with like denominators and adding fractions with unlike denominators. Section B, we will study subtracting fractions. We will study subtracting fractions with like denominators and subtracting fraction with unlike denominators. Section C, we will study fractions and decimals, and we will know how can you write fraction and decimals. First, adding fraction. Adding fractions with like denominators first. For example, he said add. If we have two fractions like 2 over 5 and 1 over 5, we have here the same denominator, which is 5. So bring down the same denominator and add the two numerators, which 2 plus 1 equals 3, so it will be 3 over 5. Number 2, 1 over 4 plus 1 over 4. We have here the same denominator, which is 4, so bring down 4, and 1 plus 1 equals 2, so it will be 2 over 4. This fraction is not in the simplest form. We can divide by 2, so it will be 1/2. So don't forget to simplify if necessary. Number 3, 1 over 12 plus 5 over 12. By the same way, we bring down 12, and 1 plus 5 equals 6. 6 over 12 is not in the simplest form. We can divide by 6, so it will be 1/2. Number 4, 3 over 5 plus 2 over 5. Keep the same denominator, which is 5, and 3 plus 2 equals 5. So 5 over 5 equals what? Equals 1. Number 5, 2 over 5 plus 4 over 5, it will be 6 over 5. Look here, 6 is greater than 5, so it's improper fraction. We can write it as a mixed number, so it will be 1 and 1 over 5. We deduce this rule to add two fractions with like denominators. Just step 1, bring down the same denominator. Step 2, add the two numerators, the top numbers. Stop the video 3 minutes to solve this exercise. Exercise, find in the simplest form. 1 over 3 plus 2 over 3 equals what? 1 over 5 plus 3 over 5 equals what? 5 over 7 plus 4 over 7 equals what? And 5 over 11 plus 4 over 11 equals what? Second, adding fractions with unlike denominators. For example, if we have here 1/2 plus 1 over 4. Look here, we have here two denominators are different, 2 and 4. So ask yourself, how can we make 2 4? Just keep the same denominator by multiplying by 2. So to find the equivalent fractions of 1/2, so we multiplying by 2 to make the denominator 4. So it will be 2 over 4 plus 1 over 4, it will be 3 over 4. Number 2, 5 over 8 plus 1 over 4. How can we make 4 8? Multiplying by 2. So 5 over 8 plus 1 over 4 times 2 over 2. So it will be 5 over 8 plus 2 over 8 equals here 7 over 8. Number 3, 3 over 14 plus 1/2. Now, by the same way, we can multiply here by 7, 1/2 by 7 to find the equivalent fraction to make the two bottom numbers are the same. So 3 over 14 plus 1 over 2 times 7 over 7. So it will be here 3 over 4 plus 7 over 14. So it will be 10 over 14. Don't forget, 10 over 15 is not in the simplest form. We can divide here by 2. So it will be 5 over 7. Rule: to add two fractions with unlike denominators. Step 1, keep the same denominator. Step 2, add as we studied before. in the first section. Remark: before adding, write the fractions in the simplest form. Look here, if we have a fraction is not in the simplest form, like this example, 4 over 6 plus 5 over 12. 4 over 6, this fraction is the simplest form. We can divide here by 3. So 4 over 6 is not in the simplest form. Dividing by 2 here, it will be 2 over 3 plus 5 over 12. And we can find the equivalent fraction of 2 over 3 by multiplying by 4 to make here 3 12. So it will be 2 over 3 times 4 over 4 plus 5 over 12. So it will be 8 over 12 plus 5 over 12. So it will be here 13 over 12. 13 over 12 is not in the simplest form. We can write it as a mixed number. So it will be 1 and 1 over 12. Remark: if we have two fractions, a over b and c over d, so we can deduce a over b plus c over d equals what? Equals, we can use cross products, a times d plus b times c over what? Over the product of the two bottom numbers b and d. So we can write it as ad plus bc over bd. For example, if we have here 2 over 3 plus 1 over 4, just multiply 3 by 4 to find the new denominator, which is 12, and 2 times 4 equals 8 plus 3 times 1 equals 3. So 8 plus here 3 over 12. We can write 2 times 4 plus 3 times 1 over the product 3 times 4. So it will be here 8 plus 3 over 12. So it will be 11 over 12 in the simplest form. Another example: find in the simplest form 3 over 8 plus 1 over 4. By the same way, we have here the new denominator, which is here 32, 8 times 4, and cross products 3 times 4 plus 8 times 1. So it will be 12 plus 8 over 32. So it will be here 20 over 32. Look, 20 over 32 is not in the simplest form. We can divide here by 4. So don't forget to simplify your sum. So dividing by 4, it will be 5, and dividing by 4, it will be 8. So the simplest form is 5 over 8. You can do this exercise by yourself. Find in the simplest form 1 over 3 plus 5 over 6, 1 over 7 plus 5 over 14, 1 over 3 plus 3 over 4, 1 over 2 plus 3 over 10, 1 over 5 plus 3 fourths, 6 over 9 plus 1/3, and 3/5 plus 1/7, 1 over 9 plus 10 over 15. Section B, subtracting fractions. First, subtracting fractions with like denominators. Example, we said subtract. If we have 3 over 5 minus 1 over 5, like plus or like adding, just bring down 5 and subtract the top numbers. 3 minus 1, it will be 2 over 5. 5 over 10 minus 3 over 10, it will be 2 over 10. We can simplify here, dividing by 2, so it will be 1 over 5. 5 over 12 minus 1 over 12, bring down 12, and 5 minus 1 equals what? Equals 6. So it will be 6 over 12. Sorry, 5 minus 1 equals 4 over 12. So it will be 4 over 12. Don't forget to simplify. We can divide here by 4. So it will be 1 over 3 in the simplest form. Exercise, you can do by yourself. Find in the simplest form 5 over 8 minus 1 over 8, 3 over 11 minus 1 over 11, and 7 over 10 minus 3 over 10. 3 over 8 minus 1 over 8 equals what? Second, subtracting fractions with alike denominators. Example, subtract 5 over 6 minus 1 over 2. Look here, we have here different denominators like 2 and 6. So how can we make 2 6 multiplying by 3? So we will find the equivalent fraction of 1/2. So it will be 3 over 6 multiplying by 3. So it will be 5 over 6 minus 3 over 6. It will be 2 over 6. Two over 6 is not in the simplest form. We can divide by 2. So don't forget to simplify. So it will be 1 over 3. Another example. We have here 1 over 2 minus 3 over 14. We can here find the equivalent fraction of 1/2. It's very easy. So it will be 7 over 14 minus 3 over 14. 7 minus 3, it will be 4 over 14. Okay, this is 5, it will be 4. Sorry for this. Rule. Now we can deduce this rule to subtract two fractions. To subtract these two fractions with alike denominators, just do two steps. Step 1, just here keep the same denominator, and step 2, subtract as we studied before. We can find a remark to subtract two fractions before subtract or before adding. Write the fractions in the simplest form. For example, if we have two fractions like 12 over 18 minus 1 over 4. 12 over 18 is not in the simplest form. There is a common factor here, which is 6, the HCF between 12 and 18. So we can divide by 6 equals 2, divided by 6 equals 3, so it will be 2 over 3 in the simplest form. Now we can subtract 12 over 18 minus 1 over 4, it will be 2 over 3 minus 1 over 4. Now we can do cross products, it's very easy to find. So the new denominator, which is 12, and the cross product 8 minus 3, it will be 5 over 12. By the way, cross products 2 times 4 and 3 times 1, so it will be 5 over 12 in the simplest form. Exercise, you can do it by yourself. Find in the simplest form 5 over 6 minus 1 over 3, 5 over 14 minus 2 over 7, 3 over 4 plus 1/3, and 1/2 minus 3/10, 3 over 4 minus 1/5, and 6 over 9 minus 1/3, 3 over 5 minus 1/7, 10 over 15 minus 1/9. Stop the video 5 minutes at least and solve the exercise. Decimals and fractions. This is the last section in this video. If we have a picture like this and we divide this region into 10 equal parts, and we can write the fraction here as 3 over 10. That we here colored 3 parts. We studied before how can we write the fraction as a part of a region. So we can write it as in another form. It's called the decimal form. We studied before, by the way, so we can write the decimal form as 0.3. So if we have a fraction with a denominator 10, we can get a decimal form with 1 decimal place, just 0.3. Another example, we can write the fraction as 8 over 10, so the decimal form, it will be 0.8. For that, we have here a table, fraction form and decimal form. If we have 4 over 10, it will be 0.4. If we have here 7 over 10, it will be 0.7, and 9 over 10 equals 0.9. If he gives here the fraction form, we can write here the decimal, and if he give you the decimal, you can write here the fraction form. But if we have here a picture like this, and we divide it into 100 equal parts. We can count to find the fraction here. It will be 44 over 100. So divide by 100. So we have here 2 decimal places. So it will be 0.44. Another one. We can count the fraction. It's easy to find it. 68 over 100. So it will be 0.68, the decimal fraction. So you can note that if we have here a fraction with a denominator 100, so we have here 2 decimal places, don't forget. We have here a table, fraction form and decimal form. 4 over 100 will be 0.04. 76 over 100, it will be 0.76. 93 over 100, it will be 0.93. You can complete this exercise. 0.7 equals what as a fraction form, 0.23 equals what, and 8 over 10 or 8/10 equals what is as a decimal form here. 62 over 100 equals what? Example, write each fraction as a decimal. 2 over 10 equals 0.2. Directly we can write it. 43 over 100 equals 0.43, and 8 over 10 equals 0.8. 77 over 100 will be 0.77. But if we have a fraction like 1/2, how can we write the decimal form? Just ask yourself, how can we make 210, the denominator 210? Just multiply this fraction by 5. So it will be 5 over 10. We can write it as 0.5. Another fraction, 1 over 4. Ask yourself to make 4 100. Just multiply it. It's easy, by 25. So multiply the two terms of fraction by 25. So it will be 25 over 100 equals 0.25. 1 over 5 multiplying by 2. So it will be 2 over 10, it will be 0.2. Here, 3 over 20, we can multiplying by 5, so it will be 15 over 100, so it will be 0.15. By the way, this is 15 over 100, not 20, okay? 5. So the decimal form of 3 over 20 is 0.15. Remark, we have here 2 tables, fraction form and decimal form. If he asks you, you can find it mentally directly. You must know that 1/2 equals 0.5, 1 over 5 equals 0.2, multiplying by 2 by the way, and the first one multiplying by 5. 1 over 4 we studied before, multiplying by 25, it will be 0.25. 25 also, it will be 0.75. 3 over 20 multiplying by 5, it will be 0.50. 1 over 50 multiplying by 2, it will be here 0.02. And 3 over 25 we can multiply by 4, it will be 0.12. You can do the exercise by yourself here. He said complete the following table. We have here a fraction form, 3 over 10, so the decimal form is what? And we have here the decimal form is 0.9, so the fraction is what? And 0.32 fraction is what? 7 and 54 over 100. So this is a mixed number. So what is the decimal number here, or the decimal form? Another table, fraction form and decimal form, 4 and 3 over 20, so the decimal is what? The fraction is what when the decimal is 0.42. We have decimal here 1.3, so the fraction form is what? 7 and 11 over 25. How can we write the decimal form? It's easy to find it. Thank you for watching. See you soon, guys.